Hello, everybody, and back we are. And today, Dave and I have a very special guest, somebody that most of you in the super community definitely know or should. Somebody who has broken everything on a Subaru you can imagine and fixed it somehow. And he showed you how he did it. Smeedia, we just want to thank you for giving us your time and coming on today, man. And we
Anytime,
are
dude.
so happy to have you on, Tanner. Um, you know, Dude, this is like huge because you are now doing content on my favorite car ever, the Audi R6
Dude, I love
R6
that thing.
Avant. It is going to be my midlife crisis, I have decided. And something that caught my eye from watching the first videos you were putting out of that car was the first thing I saw that was broken was the coupler, the carbon fiber coupler for the intake. And I'm like, yo, even these $100,000 cars these days, like you just like, oh, it's whatever. It's just part of the intake
Yep.
is just broken. We'll just deal with that.
Just chilling.
It's like
It's
insane.
the amount of broken stuff I have found on that Audi so far since buying it has been absurd. The exhaust, the SOS errors, the intakes. It doesn't matter how expensive the car is. You buy a modified car, it's like 9 times out of 10 you're gonna find wrong with it.
Well, and it's also kind of a luxury brand too. You have to appreciate that. It's a
Yeah.
luxury model. You know, briefly, I always remember back when I used to work on BMWs, guys would come in with these $2,000, used. They purchased it, 7 Series, 745 specifically BMWs, and it was just like, they're like, well, the guy just told me I had to check engine light on for an oxygen sensor, and we'd literally give them 2 to 3 pages of codes. And they were flabbergasted that our estimate was $20,000, and we'd have to
Costs more
explain
than
to
they
them.
paid for the car.
Yeah.
We're like, this is $100,000 car, or was, at the time. It was $100,000 car. What did you expect when you bought it for
Right.
$2,000?
Yeah.
The
No.
cars might depreciate, the parts don't. The parts will
No,
always be
no.
expensive.
Yeah.
We
True.
will charge you full retail for those prices.
Oh, yeah.
They made a lot of them and they want to get rid of them.
Mhm.
Yes.
Now, Tanner, have you always been into Audis? Is this like a long time car you've always wanted, or is this
I mean,
something
it's
that
always been one that I've wanted. And one thing, and I've done this to myself with YouTube and whatnot, but I am like, don't get me wrong, I love Subarus. There's a reason I've had like 70 WRXs and STIs. I love the cars, but I am a car enthusiast at my core. It's not just like I only want Subarus forever. It's like I want everything. I've had Maseratis, Audis, BMWs, Subarus, Nissans. I mean, you name it, I've probably had it. It's just like I like to experience everything. The RS6 is one where I'm financially at a point where it made sense to where I could afford one and not eat top ramen every night. Cause I mean, as much as I enjoy top ramen, I don't want it every single night and whatnot. And you gotta live. I mean, that's one thing that I've learned is like don't put all of your eggs or all of your monies into like, I have this car payment. I have to pay the car payment, the insurance, the gas. Oh, I have no money left over for myself. And
Very well said.
I see too many people do that. I'm guilty of it. I
Upside
remember,
down.
yep. When I was 18, I was in the military when I was 18, and I remember I bought it was my second car technically. It was a 2004 350Z. I didn't know any better. I bought this at like 18% APR on an E2 salary at the time in the army. I didn't have any money left over. It's just like don't do that to yourselves. But no, I mean the RS6 is a car I've always loved them. It's a great
Mhm.
daily driver. It's a wagon, V8 twin turbo. I mean, it's got everything that you'd want out of a daily. So
yeah.
I mean, I've wanted one for a while. It's just finally to the point where I'm like, okay, I can actually afford this thing now.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of cars that are kind of in that category. Like I've always wanted a CTS-V with the long
Mhm.
back, bulletproof 600 horsepower.
Yep.
Super
Wagon
cool.
life.
Like I just love that style. And like when Subaru only produced the wagon overseas, I was like, why?
I'm still
Why?
butthurt about it. If they
Like,
brought a Levorg to the States, I would sell my 15 STI or my 17 STI. I'd go get one.
Same.
it's
Same.
crazy
Same.
that they think only the European
Take my
market
money.
likes that. Like,
Right?
Take my money.
dude, like when I think of a
Subaru's
wagon,
missing.
right?
It's every auto manufacturer. We don't get the BMW wagon. No, we do get the BMW wagon here. We don't
Yeah.
get the new RS, what is the RS5 Avant that only Europe gets. And like, Subaru with their Livorg, Japan only. They get it in Mexico though. Why do
Can
they
I
get it
just
in
say,
Mexico?
does anyone else love Volvo wagons, or is it just me?
I think it's just you, man.
Yeah, just you. You know what though? I gotta say the V70 or whatever that they came out with, I've seen one of those slammed to the ground and it looks pretty sick.
Yes.
Dude,
So
they do
can't
look real
complain.
good.
Let us know in the comments if you like Volvo, if you're like me and you're the 1/3 that likes Volvos, because I think Volvos can actually be cool.
The problem is what I don't understand is like a wagon, right? I imagine
Mhm.
road tripping, going skiing, you have the extra space.
Yeah.
America has like the most land you can cover and still be in America. Like you would think that road tripping,
Yeah,
it's like our thing. So like why would
Yeah.
somebody who could get across the UK in like 4 hours, like why would they ever need to, you know
because
what I mean?
everyone here wants SUVs over wagons for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't
And they get
understand
so
it, but
terrible gas mileage when you get 9 miles a gallon, you decide I'm gonna fly because it costs the same, if not less, to fly
Listen,
versus driving
I'll
a 9 mile to gallon SUV Escalade, just saying.
I'll take an SQ any day. You don't gotta force it on me. I'm just saying, like, but yeah, man, it's kind of crazy how things have gone. You know, Tanner, I want to kind of switch gears because there's something that we have needed to bring up for quite a while.
is
Is
this like an intervention we're about
yeah,
to have?
this is the beef. The
The
beef is
beef.
that you have been commented and tagged in every canola oil video we have made, and we have made a lot of them. So
That's true.
where
You're
what
on the
we need to
podium.
talk what we need to talk about here is we have filled Dave's Baja that has
Mhm.
over 200,000 miles with canola oil.
I bet you it's still running great to this day.
It has
Yes.
we just did an update. It's right at about the 1,000-mile mark, running clean, only had to
One
top it off.
third.
You are the canola oil expert.
I did this one time, and I intentionally was trying to kill an engine, and I
And, you know, that's the thing is that we are not trying to kill an engine, but we are seeing how viable canola oil is
bro,
as an oil.
I think it'll run forever. I don't think you're ever gonna have an issue. I mean, dude, I bought that '06 STI that I had, I bought it with a rod knock in it. I was like, all right, I'm already putting a motor in this car. I can have some fun with it. Drained all the oil out, filled it up with vegetable oil. Said, dude, this thing was bone cold. I would start it and I would just hold the gas for like 5 minutes straight. The car didn't care. This car would not die. I took it out. I was launching it cold. I was just revving the out of it. I was trying to blow this thing out. It wouldn't die. I eventually gave up. I pulled it back into my shop. I drilled holes in the oil pan, let it all drain out, started it. It still wouldn't die.
Yeah. I
I mean,
mean,
we're not fully abusing it to that level, but as I've said before in the podcast, my employees have little, let's call it little disregard for the shop Baja. So when they pull it in for the end of the night, because we pull all the cars in, they'll start it up cold outside, they'll unpark it wherever, and then they'll just rev it up and clutch dump
Do,
it.
do you have an oil pressure sensor on it?
No, actually, I don't. That'd be
You
interesting. We
should
might
toss
actually do
one
that.
on there. I had like
Good
95
idea.
psi. I had like 95 psi oil pressure on mine with vegetable oil.
Okay, I want to do this. I'm going to take your advice. We should definitely record the oil pressure. That'd be very interesting. But yeah, we'll beat the living crap out of this car, and it seems to not care.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Literally doesn't care.
They just take it. They just take the abuse.
Dude, I am convinced that anybody who has an old Baja, if you today start running it on canola oil, your oil changes are going to be $15 for the rest of the life of that car.
Dude, I guarantee it.
If it
We
blows
have
up,
confirmed there's a
don't
little bit of
plan me,
consumption.
but
Little
I,
consumption. So
take this with
Does it smell like McDonald's when it's running?
it does.
So did
It
mine.
does.
So did mine. It smelled like McDonald's French fries.
Exactly. It does.
Oh my gosh. The guy Matt who he came on the podcast, we talked with him. He had like no mechanical experience and he JDM swapped his Baja, the same one that
Mhm.
Dave has. He messaged me this week and he said, "That's it. I've seen enough videos of this thing continuing to run." And he said, "I am never putting regular oil in my Baja again." And I started dying. I thought that was so funny. But
It's so funny
so
when he parked it for snowdrift at my house. Quick side note: one of my roommates came out and saw it and was like, "Huh, why is Dave's Baja at the shop or at the house?" Because he saw the yellow Baja and he thought it was mine.
well, Tanner, I don't think I really have to ask you if you think it's gonna last the 3,000 miles. I think it's
Dude,
clear
it's
that
going all the way.
you think it'll live forever. So, my question to you is, when we hit 3,000 miles,
What
what do you
next?
think we put in it next?
Don't. Just don't never change it. Just keep topping it off.
Do you think we've
Don't
had
Okay.
change the filter. Don't do it. Just keep topping it off.
our number one hit has been baby oil.
Are you gonna diddy the car?
We're
I
thinking
think
about
it's
we're we're thinking about the Diddy Baja next.
I think it'll die a lot quicker on the Diddy oil than it will on canola or vegetable.
I think you're right.
I think if you want to go fancy, olive oil.
Okay. You know
Ooh,
what? That's a
well,
good
Try
maybe a
olive.
little vinegar, really
I
get
like
it
that.
going in there.
Are we gonna do a full, like, cold pressed olive oil? That's the question, you know? What quality are
You
we
know,
gonna
this
go
it
for?
could make for a great video if you really wanted to. You could go. I'm pretty sure you can buy olive oil from Olive Garden. Go to just be it like a whole YouTube video, changing my oil at Olive Garden or with Olive Garden oil or whatever. You just go there, you pick up the
My
oil, you drive it
god.
home, do oil change with Olive
Dave,
Garden oil.
Dave, when you do the oil change, you have the oil bucket, right? But on top, you have a salad, and you just pull the drain
Breadstick,
plug and just
salad, and
cover the
soup.
salad.
Dude, this is
That's
I think I
amazing.
think it's I
These are
think this is
free
solved,
ideas right
Tanner.
now. These are
Yeah.
free
Dude,
ideas.
dude,
This is why we needed
I
you on,
think you're
Tanner.
onto
This is the
something.
big brain canola oil stuff that we needed.
Yep. And the best part is about the whole canola oil, again, you have to be in on the secret, and we just hope they haven't watched this podcast, but we're gonna send the oil analysis into Blackstone and not tell them anything.
I'm so curious to see what they say on that.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
so curious.
Like a full 3,000 miles on canola oil, it's gonna look like probably close to regular oil.
It will. I think the viscosity is going to be a lot waterier, but I don't think
Yeah.
I'm so curious to know what they're going to say.
yeah.
Even if it blows up, still pull a sample and send it to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're be committed. We're gonna send an oil analysis either way if it blows up. We're gonna send it to Blackstone and just be like, I don't know what this is. Can you tell me what this is? The only thing I'm still 1% worried is I get sent a very angry letter from the president of Blackstone professing that we broke some really expensive machinery.
Foresee it
In some
breaking.
ways, I don't think so, but
It's still technically an oil.
True.
It's
That's
not
their job.
a petroleum product.
they test oils mixed with coolant. They'll tell
Yeah,
you if
see?
you're, hey, you just sent in an oil slurry that's,
Yeah.
not good.
I think you'll be fine. I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to do it.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Well, I'm very glad that we have some new ideas for this, and we're definitely gonna have to execute the salad idea. I like that a lot. So,
Dude, it'll be perfect.
Same.
now Tanner, I mean, you've before the canola oil, before all of the Subaru nonsense, when you started posting your first WRX content and getting your channel up and figuring out what you were making, I mean, did you ever imagine that your recommendations and driveway installs and all of this stuff would be referenced like a decade later? Like, did you think people would still be watching your original videos and
Bro,
learning
so
something?
when I started making the videos, I still have the same philosophy today. I'm like, when I started making the videos, it's because I enjoyed making the videos. And that's what I tell a lot of people ask me all the time. They're like, I want to make YouTube videos. I was like, if you don't enjoy making the video, you're not going to last. You're not going to want to do it. But like those install videos, like we talked about kind of off camera, like those videos I made specifically to help people because that was the entire reason I started making those videos is I would order a part for my car. I would have, if you go back to the beginning of the channel, I had no idea what the I was doing with anything. I couldn't find a good install video. It's like I go to a video of somebody installing this part and they're eating a sandwich for half the video. Like, I don't care about your sandwich. Show me how to remove this bracket. So, like,
Yeah.
all of the earlier videos, they're very detailed install videos. I don't so much do them anymore because I've, for the most part, covered all of them. And there's not really, unless it's like a video where I'm like, okay, this video needs updated because this part changed or because X, Y, or Z or things. But I've got install videos on so many parts at this point on these cars. It's absurd. And it's wild because I'll still get comments on videos that I posted. I've been doing this for 7 years now, for 7 years ago, on like a random, like, hey, how to install an oil pan or whatever it is in your car. So it's like, I didn't foresee it when I first started uploading them. So it's crazy to still see it now.
Yeah. I mean, Tanner, fun going back to your original videos and really like listening and taking in like somebody who's just starting out and how you got where you are. And like, I find that it's really telling when you see somebody in the beginning when they're figuring it out and they're really excited and they love doing it. And not saying you don't love doing it now, but
There's some things I don't love doing
yeah.
now.
You know, something that I picked out that was really interesting to me about your whole beginning, right, is that it feels like it kind of just begins out of nowhere. Like,
Mhm.
you have your car, which already has, in my eyes, right, you had a good amount of work done. You had the bags on it, you had the intake, you had it tuned, you had a couple other bolt-ons and stuff done. And something that you mentioned that I caught in one of your first videos was that you were going to your first Subaru Big Northwest and that you would be at the Killer Bee booth August 4th, 2020. So what I found interesting is like that's pretty early in you starting out that you had connections with Killer Bee and you already had some work done to your cars. And you had mentioned that you just started the YouTube channel right after you finished college. So like how does that timeline work? Like when did you start working on your car? How did you end up with Killer Bee? Like how did that all pan out?
I mean, I'm gonna be I don't remember how the Killer Bee thing came to be. I think I had a friend who was a booth car because they needed booth cars locally. So then my friend was like, "Hey, do you want to be a booth car too?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" And then that's how I met Nick, who used to be at Killer Bee. He's not there anymore. I don't know what Nick's doing nowadays. I hope he's doing well. But that it was just kind of like a friend was a booth car and they asked me if I just wanted to be one too. I was like, "Yeah, why not? I get entry free, so sure, I just have to
Nice.
arrive a little bit early." I mean, I've always been like a car enthusiast since I mean, I got my first car, my old Subaru. I had a 1988 XT6 as my first car. I loved that thing, little Subaru coupe and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I would modify it here and there. I didn't really know what I was doing. Then I joined the army. I got my 350Z, and I'd still modify that thing here and there. So it's just like I just like taking things apart, like and just doing stuff to it. It's like adult Legos. It's essentially just adult Legos. You just get a little more messy. So it's like
Yeah.
and with half the things, I'm cheap. I'm like one of the cheapest people you meet. If I do not have to pay somebody to do something, I will figure out how to do it on my own, one way or another. I've learned how to weld that way. I've learned how to wire that way, build engines that way. So it's like I've had the same mentality from when I started. Like when I did the bags on my STI, I didn't know how to install bags. I was like, I can figure this out. They give me a diagram. This goes here, that goes there. If I mess up, and I'm like, this is my ideology behind it all. And people ask me this all the time. They're like, how do I just get started working on their cars? It's all mechanical. If you break something, you can fix it. There's always replacement parts. If you mess something up, it might cost you a little bit more money to get a replacement part, but you can
Yeah.
always fix it. I'm like, it's just a machine. It's always fixable.
Yeah. You know, it's funny talking about the cheap thing because it feels like when we were talking before, you were like, listen, don't buy an expensive car and live paycheck to paycheck or whatever. But like, I feel like that's the fan base that really likes you because you're teaching them how to fix and they don't have to pay somebody else to do it. So
Yeah.
they're like, hey, I could barely afford this STI, but guess what? I'm going to modify it the cheapest way I can. And this is how I'm going to do
I don't
it.
advise modifying your car. You use quality parts and do it
Yeah.
right the first time. Like as because we run our own shop. I see so many clients come through. I'm gonna tell you now, the biggest part about building a car is not the parts cost half the time, it's the labor cost. And
Yeah.
if you can save money on the labor cost and try to do it yourself, 100% as a DIY enthusiast, do it. Even
Sure.
as a shop owner, I still encourage people. I'm like, they'll ask me for a quote on something. If it's too much, I'll be like, hey man, I can send you one of my DIY videos. If you want to try to do this at home, you can ask me questions, whatever. I'm all here to help. I'm like, 100%. Try it yourself. It's not that
Yeah.
Yeah. There's gradients to it, of course, like you said, though. Depending on what you're doing, the stakes can always be higher, you
yeah.
know?
You
Yeah.
go to build your first short block and you don't want to learn how to use micrometers, you're going to be in for a real bad time when you go to start that thing.
Yeah.
It's kinda yeah. So I say there's a spectrum there, of course, of
Start easy,
okay,
go to hard.
Yeah.
yeah, don't maybe learn to do your brakes first before, like you said, rebuilding a
You
short
know,
block,
I
you
I
know?
will say
Fundamentals are important.
I have had some subscribers watch my videos on how to build their own short block. They order everything. They watch my videos on how to use the tools. And this is their first time ever taking an engine out of the car. And they do it. Their cars are still running today. Like I've had people just go to the most extreme and they succeed doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, it's important to have people like you on the internet who can like show people how to do things Like, dude, because a lot of people, they think about it, right? Like, trying to work on their car and, like, that big hurdle of, like, what if I mess things up or whatever? And something that Matt said to us who had his Baja that he worked on, he was like, "Dude, it's a car. Like, at the end of the day, if you break something, you're gonna fix it." Like, it's like he learned a lot. He scored his cams and started leaking oil and, like, did some things that he was like, "Crap, what did I do?" But at the end of the day, he got through it, he figured it out, and he built his car, like, and
Yeah.
now he's got a good daily,
I
so
mean, that's the best way to learn. Like, I did the same thing when I bought my RX-7. I had no idea how to rebuild a rotary engine. I rebuilt that thing 3 times learning how to do it because every time I messed something up, I'd have to go back in there and fix it. I rebuilt that engine 3 times before I finally got it right. The best way to learn, in my opinion, just hands-on. Just do it.
I agree with you, but I will admit I am scared of rotaries.
Dude, it's the easiest engine to build looking back, and because I've built tons of Subarus, I've built my GR Corolla's engine, I've done inline 3s, inline 4s, flat engines, rotaries. Dude, the rotary is by far the easiest. It's building a sandwich. That's all you're doing. It's building a sandwich.
Yeah. But there's always nuance, and that's the one of the things that I always have worked through with any, younger technicians that I've hired is I spend about an hour with them, and it sounds exaggerated, but I take them over to the shop vise and I clamp down 100 or so different bolts, in order.
I
And
thought we
I
were
make
about to
them
go
I
somewhere
make them
dark with
no,
this.
no, I make them break bolts for an hour. I make them spend an hour breaking bolts as a
Just
junior
so they can,
technician.
like, learn
The
the torque
feel.
yield. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, what's a 6 millimeter, bolt, not head. That's a 10 millimeter bolt, but it's 6 millimeter, by the way, for
Mhm.
anyone who wants to know the shank. Yeah, go ahead. Experience what that feels like before it breaks. Because famously, for anyone who knows, if you can learn that feeling, you can stop and you can save yourself a lot of trouble
Yeah,
and get that bolt back out before it becomes a big problem. And so that's those things that I feel like they take some time, and you appreciate that. Yeah, it takes the experience. And for anyone that wants to undertake doing their own things, that's where I think I said earlier, it's a little bit of, and you're not wrong in that. Yeah, people can jump in from the deep end to some extent, but sometimes taking more progressive steps are beneficial depending on the
Mhm.
person. And I've
Yeah, oh,
seen how people
100%.
can learn,
yeah,
the fundamentals, and just going beyond, what your capabilities are and following steps, so to speak, can sometimes be problematic. I've
yeah,
seen that, and even as a technician, I've followed the steps from the manufacturer and, that doesn't seem right. And
Mm.
there's two approaches there. You can either follow that and sometimes see where that leads you, or in other occasions you go, no, that doesn't seem right. I'm not
yeah.
gonna do that, you
Yeah.
know? I'm not
Use
gonna
logic
T-tap
and
that
yeah,
wire.
logic and reasoning go a long way.
Yes.
I actually, when I worked at the Ford shop, we had a F-150 come in that we were putting on this lowering kit, and the instructions were just tighten the bolts, and so I contacted them, and I was like, "What is the torque on these?" And the guy goes, "Not kidding you, this is a company that their Instagram shows they sell millions of these lowering kits." The guy was like, "Yeah, you just torque it to common sense." And I was like,
Dude, that's my favorite. Good and
"That's
tight,
like
good and
what?"
tight.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
"Why
a
did not
gradient.
think of
Yeah,
that?"
that's a
Like,
gradient. Is
he's
it
like,
one
"Yeah,
Ugga
just"
Dugga, two Ugga Duggas? What are
yeah.
we talking here?
Dude, am
Like,
I using the half inch or the 3/8?
I was
very
like,
big
"Alright."
point. Exactly.
I was like,
Electric,
"So you
pneumatic,
guys don't
very
know
different
or"
too.
Tanner, something that I wanted to, roll into with you here that I found really interesting was you do a lot of what I would say is, like, top tool videos. You show people kind of the stuff that you work with, or you talk to them about certain things that you prefer. And watching your earlier videos, I thought it was really interesting some of the things you were recommending that even I didn't know, and I was like, "I might actually buy these today."
As a forewarning, I haven't done any of those videos in years. I think I've done like 2 or 3 of them.
And that is exactly why we are here. So, one of the tools that you talked about in your I think it was your second video ever, was the Torque Solution pinch weld jack pads.
I don't think I've used one of those in years.
It's
I
funny
think at
because
the time I got one, I was like, I can save my pinch welds. And then I think I threw it away like a month later and never used it again.
It's funny because you recommended them. They were 20 bucks at the time, and now they are $40. So my question to you is, are they still worth it?
Oh,
Would
no,
you
just grab a floor jack and just jack up the car, dude. Grab some ramps and drive onto them if you need to. I am so basic and cheap with tools. If you can see it in some of my recent videos on my head cam. When I walk over to my toolbox, I open a drawer, you will see mismatched tools. If they're not organized, I take all my tools, I just throw them in a drawer. I have a wrench drawer.
Bro.
I've got a wrench drawer, a plier drawer, a screwdriver drawer, a random socket drawer, electric tool drawer. It's all just thrown in there.
Dude, I'm gonna fly out and fix your tools.
David's
Dude, no,
triggered, I
don't
know
touch
it.
Fix your
them.
tool- Dude,
I have it perfect. I can open that
No, I'm
toolbox,
gonna
and
make
even
it
though everything
perfect.
is thrown in there, I know exactly what I need is.
you're insane.
My buddy Matt will come over because he's the opposite of me. His toolbox, he's got like every socket, a nice little socket organizer and everything.
Yeah.
I go in his, I'm looking for a
Efficiency,
socket. I'm like, dude,
bro.
I can't find anything
Efficiency.
in here. I can't find anything.
My
I go in
God.
my toolbox, I open up my drawer with all my sockets. I know exactly what every socket looks like. I'm like, that's the one I need. 9 times out of 10, I'm right.
Dude, I am the same way. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with our brains, but like, dude, I will put something in a specific place. It's no reason for being there. And I'll be like, I know where this is. And then my
It's
wife will move
exactly
it.
right there.
My wife will move it. And I'm like, where is it? And she's like, well, it's got to be in like this place or that place. I start looking. I'm like, where is it? I knew where it was.
The only time I cannot find a tool is if I have already taken it out of the toolbox and I've set it down somewhere in the shop. And normally I will set it down 10 seconds later, go to grab it, and it's gone. I have no idea where I put it. As long as it's
Yeah.
in the toolbox, I can find it.
Now, something that you recommended a lot in the beginning, being that you were talking about cheap tools,
Mhm.
you recommended the legal trim kit and you recommended the Tecton long ratchets, which were kind of like a starter ratchet.
Now, go to Home Depot, grab the Milwaukee starter socket, and you can do almost anything you need to.
True.
It's like $200. Comes with every size in
Yep.
3/8. You can do anything with that. You can take apart a whole ass Subaru with that if you're strong enough.
Have you seen our recent video? That posted said this is all the tools you need to take out a Subaru engine, and
Probably
it was
like
this
4
tiny
sockets,
little
isn't
like
it?
it was
I
a
did see
small
it.
piles, 10, 12, 14, 7. It was basically all the sizes of a few sockets, a few wrenches, a pair of pliers, take a few hose clamps off, and a few other miscellaneous little extras. Someone commented, by the way, they were like, "Oh, you didn't have the fuel disconnect little clip." And I
Bro,
was like,
zip tie. You can use a zip tie. I love Market Company 23
true.
and all their fancy tools. You can do it with a zip tie.
they were actually funny enough just underneath the pliers in the video, and I was like, I had to look back and go, "Wait a minute, he's right." And I thought about, it, I was like, "Oh," and it's hard to tell, but if you kind of look at it at the right angle and the right kind of clip, you can see they were sitting underneath the pliers. Like, "Oh, my bad." I gotta respond to him, be like, "You're right. That the
DM him personally. You're right.
You're right. You're right."
Now, Tanner, something I have to ask you is, what is your favorite tool?
My absolute favorite tool
Yeah.
is it's a pocket screwdriver. I love this thing. I can de-pin electrical connectors. I can pop out hood pin struts. It's got a magnet on it. I can use it as the flathead side. It is the best tool. It's from my buddy Riley, who works at, it's close to that. The one I have is smaller. Dude, it's so thin. I think it's a Blue Star Machine Shop or something like that. They're in Utah. They do a lot of Subaru stuff. They send me this little
I
pocket
know Blue
screwdriver.
Star.
Yeah. My buddy
Yep.
Riley works there. He sent me this little screwdriver. I use it for everything.
Yeah.
Here's my $1 million idea. So they have two different styles. This is, for anyone who knows, this is the pocket pry bar. This one happens to be the bent one, right? But they also make the pocket screwdrivers. We all know, right? Everyone makes these with a magnet. Nobody makes these pocket pry bars with a magnet.
What are you prying out that you need a magnet for?
The pocket screwdrivers, in my opinion, if you're using these to pop out like body panel clips, they can bend. So if you're popping out, body panel clips for skid plates, not skid plates, but the factory under
Bro,
tray,
my pocket screwdriver could never. It's way too small for that.
So that's where we use the pocket pry bars a lot. I use this daily.
I've never heard. To be honest, I've never heard of a pocket pry bar before right now.
Yeah,
I've never even heard of this as a thing.
They're just thicker.
I feel like I need.
That's what happens when you bend one, but they fit great in your pocket.
It's funny because my favorite tool is also a tiny screwdriver.
They're the best. They can do everything.
Or I always say my number 2 is a pocket screwdriver, pry bar, doesn't matter, and a flashlight. Those are the 2 tools you're gonna use the most,
Bro, my
arguably. You
flashlight
gotta stick with
90%
your
of the time
team.
is my phone.
Uh,
90% of the time, I'm
bro,
using my phone as a flashlight.
dude, do I have to send you a flashlight? Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
I've got so many, but I still go to my phone every time.
Yeah, because it's right there, and you know where it
It's
is.
right in my pocket. I don't need to walk over to the toolbox, grab it. I just whip out my phone. I'm like, flashlight.
I'll be honest, iPhone needs to up the flashlight to, like, be shop level. That's what would be awesome, because then
The
I would use it for everything.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was curious, Dave, what your favorite tool was too, because I never asked you that question, but it's clear that the tiny screwdrivers have won everyone over at this
Bro,
point.
everybody
That's
loves
the
a good
number
pocket
1 tool.
screwdriver.
Everyone knows. There's a reason why they call it a pocket screwdriver. It's always in your pocket. You need that thing.
True.
Like Tanner said, you can get electrical clips off. If you have a more of a pry bar style, you can actually get body clips and things like that off.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a jack of all trades. They're good at,
It is the
all kinds
greatest
of
tool.
things.
Yeah. Tanner, something that you also talked about in an early video. I gotta go get it. Give me 2 seconds.
God, what did I talk about if he has to go get it? Is he about to walk in with like a giant prop?
You never know.
What did you just go get?
So, Tanner, you inspired me. I think
What
it
did
was
you just go and get?
your 3rd or 4th video ever.
God.
You did an entire video on light photography, and all you s and
Light painting.
and all you said the whole video was photography is cool. Light photography is awesome. Light photography is cool. And, to
It
be
is
honest,
cool.
I was watching the video and I was like, "Man," I was like, "I wonder how cheap it is to get these lights to do light photography." Dude, Amazon came through.
For like
This
10
thing
bucks, right?
is so freaking cheap. They are amazing. I mean, let me see if I can get this thing on.
Bro,
Dude,
you can do
this
light painting with cars and
dude,
whatnot. Yeah.
like, it's literally a light bar. This is the big one, and it's got every color: blue, yellow, it does soft white.
Bro, you
It's
just put your exposure really long and you just go around and you just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that was the one that got me. I was like, "Man, this thing is $15. You can go do whatever you want." I saw your buddy's legacy. He was taking all these pictures. I was like, "Dude, I got a camera. Like, I'm gonna go do this now." So maybe this week, now it's nice out, I'll go do that. And in this video, I'll put the picture so you guys can see what that looks like.
Yes.
But yeah, that was something that caught me. I was like, I'm looking this up right now.
I'm going to Amazon.
Now I want to kind of talk a little bit about your time on YouTube. Well, this is another tool question first.
But yes.
Are there any tools that you wish you had when you started YouTube? Is there something that you were like, man, my life would be so much easier if I had this? Like
Quick
either
jacks.
either like if you had air compressors in your garage or something, or just
Quick jacks.
quick
100%.
jacks. Yeah.
Quick jacks. My wife was actually the one who got me my first set of quick jacks for Christmas in like 2021, I think. Dude, that was the best tool I'd ever gotten because it turns somebody's garage into
Game
a space
changer.
where they're like, dude, it turns a garage into like, okay, I have to use jacks and jack stands, and I don't have a lot of space between me and the wall to be able to use a floor jack. You literally slide them under you, and you
Yeah.
can raise the car up like 2 feet. It gives you so
Yeah.
much room and so much space to work. You can literally do anything. I did entire engine swaps on quick jacks.
Yep.
They are
That's
phenomenal.
The one
amazing.
step up I'd say beyond that is, again, if you're not, again, in a professional space, is shout out to Max Jacks because
Mhm.
they make I'm sure you're probably familiar with them. They do make a side post lift setup that you have to mount some anchors into your concrete in your garage. But the whole idea is you can quick unbolt it. You can quick detach the hoses. It's all quick detachable, and you can roll out of the way. Everything kind of disassembles.
Mhm.
And so you could have a great little setup, almost full-on professional setup at your house. I think right now they're give or take about $3,000, 3,500 or so. I don't quote me on that, but
If you have the budget, 100%, dude, those things are so
yeah,
nice.
and not knocking the quick jacks, but they just get them a little bit higher. They give you a little bit more versatility in terms of what
Yep.
you're doing potentially.
The quick jacks are also half the price, though.
That's true.
True.
No, yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's just different strokes, different folks. I just wanted to shout them out because I think they're a very viable option for those. And I know a lot of friends who have them in their home kind of garage
Mhm.
setup because it
My
again
buddy
it
had
fit
one, and dude, they
perfectly.
go pretty high too for how short they are.
Exactly, and you don't realize, but it's not a big overhead setup. Like they're mainly designed for exactly that. Like I said, a home use setup, and so it's another viable option for anyone who's watching the episode to look into. If you're looking for, if you see those, and you're like, well, I'd like something that's more of a different style. Look at the Max Jacks because they definitely can expand the options as far as what you can
Mhm.
do with them,
Yeah.
depending on your
I mean,
taste and setup and
I
price.
think that's actually, that's a really good first tool. I think anybody would take that just off the jump. Something I wanted to ask you is what is something that you feel like you learned going from garage to where you're at now with your YouTube channel and being as big as you are, like something that you've kind of taken with you from the beginning?
The only way to get better is to try. Like that like everything I've done, like the only way to get better is to just practice and do it. Like I remember going through when I was doing when I well, I don't want to say attempted because I succeeded. When I did the engine swap on my 17 STI with my EG33, I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do any of it. And I was like, I didn't understand how big of a project it really was when I went into it. And looking back, you learn a lot going through it. I had the great idea of like, hey, let's go in the car and rip out all the body harnesses and chop them up and get rid of all the stuff I don't need. That was the worst idea. But it's like the
Fun.
more you practice and the more you do this stuff, the more you learn and the better you get. And like I've had the same mentality from when I started making videos and uploading them to where I am today. Like, even with the RS6, it's like, I don't know how to work on an RS6. I'm like, I'll learn, I'll figure it out, I'll get better and go through it. I did that with my Evo, I did that with the RX-7, I did that with my 2.5 RS that I'm still actively doing right now. It's like, I've gone back on my 2.5 RS so many times and changed so many things because I learned how to do something better. I'm like, if I can do it better, do it better. And you're gonna get it's a never ending cycle. As long as you keep wanting to learn and keep expanding, you're gonna get to that point where you're like, you just keep learning. So it's like, just keep learning how to do all this stuff.
Now, the
And I have to
question
ask, segue is how's the six cylinder doing? Because if you
Bro,
didn't
I've
know, we have a soft spot in our heart for the six cylinder, and we have a
uh,
Easy 30 in our Outback, and it's such a beast. We love those engines.
I have killed 4 EG33s now.
no, no.
Fun.
Keep in mind, my last one was making 1,000 wheel and like 900 foot-pounds of torque.
Of course, yeah.
So after I took it to a roll racing event and I had the great idea. I was like, dude, let me get on anti-lag. I'm gonna do a rolling burnout to heat up the tires because I was going up against a twin turbo C. I light it up. I successfully did the anti-lag rolling burnout. Smoke came out. It was a phenomenal thing. Fender exit, shooting big fires out the side of the car and whatnot. The C8's looking at me all like I'm the crazy one here. We do the run.
Uh-huh.
I won that, and then I started seeing coolant come up. I started seeing coolant temp come up. I was like, oh god. I was like, oh god, not again. I lifted both heads on half-inch studs on that engine, and I bent all 32 valves.
My
And I
God.
continued to do more runs throughout the day. I was like, the engine's already screwed. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going. So I just kept going all day.
Send it.
And
Send
then
it.
and then after that, I drove the car back to my shop, which is about an hour away after that, parked it, I looked at it, I was like, "All right, the engine has to come out again," and I had rebuilt this engine 3 times prior because I had the first one, the flywheel bolts backed out, shattering the oil pump, killing the
Mhm.
engine. Obviously, no oil
Yep.
pressure, no
I
engine.
saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was not fun. After that, I learned to use a diamond lock shim with ARP fasteners and red Loctite. So I started using all those because on that first engine, all I had was red Loctite and it still came right out.
Needless to say, I've been following everything with this engine because I love this
Bro,
platform,
I am
but I
such
admit
a
it has
glutton for
its
punishment with the
yeah,
EG
same, man. The
and
Easy
the
it's the same category. It's
yeah.
we're the same family.
Yeah, so now the car sits at my shop in timeout. It's still thinking about what it did. So it's recapping
That's
still. And
fair.
then after I finish my 2.5 RS, that car's coming back into my shop. I sent it out to Fab last year. And now it'll be a rear engine, all-wheel drive, twin turbo setup. So the entire rear end of the car has been redone. It's got the engine mounts in the back. The rear diff has been moved to the front of the car. So once I finish my RS, my EG33 pain and suffering will come back once again.
Well, it's a great engine. Fortunately, it has its quirks, if you will. as we've all figured out. And even like I said, what's funny, the one point that I just wanted to bring up really quickly was we talked about it in an earlier episode, but Subaru F1. I don't know if you've looked into it, but Subaru designed a flat 12
Yeah, I've seen it.
back in the day. Yep. And you know what's
Notoriously
ironic?
unreliable from what I've heard.
Yeah. What's ironic is if you read through all of the technical information, what's publicized about it,
Mhm,
that was one of the number one problems they encountered was heat.
mhm.
For some other reason, and not to the detriment of Subaru or the Boxster engine in a whole, but it seems like the four-cylinder seems to kind of fit a little bit better than when you add on 2 more cylinders onto it, it seems to present more of a heating issue than was originally anticipated. And I think it's interesting because as someone who near and dear to my heart is the 6-cylinder Subaru engines. There's just something about them, the way I know the way they pull, there's just something very different about them.
And the way they sound.
That's the one struggle. Yes, there's just the one struggle is it's a heat issue. And
Mhm.
fortunately, I'd like to say we're not anywhere near the spectrum that you are with the turbocharging and everything, but even in our current configuration, we were dealing with some overheating or some heating issues, let's call it. Even with a fully built brand new engine, no head gasket issues whatsoever. It turned out that the answer for us, at least in our current configuration, was actually going with, you probably are familiar with the guys at Kobe Motorsports. They make the EZ30.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay. So they make a 6-cylinder aluminum radiator,
Mhm.
a triple core. It's the only one on the market, and they do a classic, understandably, small business group buy. They sell 10, they make 10. We got that, and who knows, but it was conjunction of that as well as also a mixture of water wetter that also made a difference
That's what
for
I
us.
swapped mine to. I got off coolant, I went to distilled water and water wetter, and I saw a
Yes.
huge decrease in coolant temps.
Same. Water wetter was kind of the game changer, and again, I don't know how much a problem was in the old expression. When you do multiple things to try to combat a problem,
It's hard to
and you fix it,
pinpoint. Yeah.
which one of the things that you did fixed it, but sometimes you get to those points when you're doing these
Mhm.
outside the box things and you're modifying things to a next level and you're pushing them to extremes. You have to figure out, well, sometimes you just have to throw the book at them, as they say.
Yeah. Dude,
Yep.
and I've had pushback from people on that with, like, trying to solve some of my issues. I'm like, "Look, if I'm already here and I already have the car torn apart, I'm not just going to do one thing to see if that fixes the issue." I'm like, "I'm going to do it all. I'm going to do everything I
Exactly.
can to resolve this problem so I don't have to
Because
do."
it's not worth your money to get it wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
It's worth just throwing 3 things at a problem and not just blindly, but understandably
It's
because
educated guesses. It's not just like, "I'm gonna
yes,
try this, that, that." It's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, these 3
very well
things
said.
make sense." Yeah.
Yeah. Something that Dave and I found from being in the rally area for the last couple months is that all of these rally cars, they want to be running the 6 cylinders. Like that
Mhm.
is the best thing for the NA class because all these guys are running Subarus. And so
It
I
is.
think as the ARA builds and as these guys start to get more competitive and get more fans and stuff, they're going to be looking to run better builds. And I think that that's going to lead to more aftermarket for the 6 cylinder. I think we're going to start to see more of it.
I don't know. I mean, I can hope. I think if anybody does,
Say
it'll be for the Easy 30 probably or the Easy 36. I think I
sorry.
mean, I still see some EG33 development stuff here and there, but I think most of it's kind of
Yeah.
capped out. I mean, there's a gentleman out in, I want to say he's in the Northeast. He bought my old EG33 short block. He rallies with a turbo EG33 and I think it's a bug eye, dude. He rips, or a blob eye, rips in this thing. And it makes like, I want to say it
Yeah.
makes like 450, 500. But dude, he
I've
flies
seen
in this
him. I'm
car.
pretty sure. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's a
Oh, this thing
silver blob
rips.
eye with a turbo EG.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dave and I saw at Boxer Fest, a guy rolled up with the Legacy with the supercharged 6 cylinder.
Mhm.
That thing was crazy. I mean, I just feel like it's becoming more popular. I'm seeing them a little bit more. People are putting them in different things. It's
It's
be
always been a unicorn.
it's the LS swap of Subarus. It's like
I feel like, well, I feel like it's been a popular thing for the past decade. It's just now that there's more coverage on social media and everything else, a lot more people see it. Because I know people have been doing this for 10 years doing the 6-cylinder swaps. But they were
Same.
primarily using the EZ engines as they were cheaper, easier to get, more plug and play, modern engine. I think there's just a lot more visibility on them now because there's a lot more media coverage out there.
Yeah. Well, side note, jumping back, being that you've been on YouTube this long and being that I'm sure you learned a lot from YouTube, who is the YouTuber that you have learned the most from?
Just like in general learning.
I would say, car related.
To be honest, I don't really watch a lot of car YouTube stuff. A
Really?
lot I don't. If I'm watching car YouTube, it's either one of my friends because I'll support my friends and I'll watch their videos when they upload stuff, or it's just like background stuff, or like if I'm just like vegging out on the couch or something, like I'll put on like a Markiplier video and just watch him play some game for like an hour while I'm on my phone or something. There's not too many car channels that I like to watch. And if I am watching like random car stuff on YouTube, I personally prefer watching the smaller channels because they still feel a lot more genuine. They don't
Yeah.
feel like I'm watching this channel with 2 million subscribers and I'm watching an ad every 30 seconds because they need to
Sponsored
get their
post.
sponsored deal in or whatever. So if I'm watching car stuff, I personally just prefer the smaller channels because it's still genuine, and that's what I miss about YouTube. And I feel like that YouTube's gotten away from that with like the algorithms, the things you have to meet, and all these requirements for them to push your videos and whatnot. Is not There's not as many genuine people on there anymore,
Yeah.
and those are the car channels that I enjoy watching. Down to earth, normal people.
It's funny because
That's
my
a very
YouTube,
good point.
like my algorithm now is like so different than what it was because I've found these like pocket channels that I just really like because they're just real. Dude, 3D Bot Maker, who does the Hot Wheel races,
Mhm.
it was just a dad who started this channel so that he could film realistic races with Hot Wheel cars for his son. And then his son grew up and was like, "I don't do Hot Wheels anymore." And he was like, "Well, there's a lot of kids out there who still like it." So he just kept doing it. So like now he literally has people send in their cars and he competes them, in the video and they race and stuff. And it's like he has, dude, I was watching a video the other day. The car fell off the cliff. They had the fake ambulance show up, the guy's leg is like, I love that, and it's, like, so real, like, I watch a lot of, like, random stuff too, like, I watch a
That
lot of
reminds me
Pokemon
of, like,
videos
I
and
saw a
stuff.
video of a guy just does marble racing, and it's like,
I've
pick
seen that.
which marble you like that.
Yep.
Yeah, pick which marble you like, the red one,
I
the
always
blue one, the
lose.
green
I
one,
always lose every time I pick.
but you're invested, I think
Yeah.
Dude,
that's
every
what's so
time
interesting.
every time I watch 3D Bot Maker, he always does Subarus versus Evos, and the main car on the channel is
Ah,
is called Big Air Dylan, who's in an Evo 10, and he gets the biggest air every time somehow. And whenever the Subarus race, they always either like it's close or the Subarus get beat, and I'm like,
We gotta fix this. We gotta figure this
Dave,
out, Pat.
Dave, I'm telling you, I don't know if he's still taking submissions right now. I
This
know
is a
that
new
it's like
market.
on and off, but
We're gonna
like,
build a Subaru, and we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it,
so
dude. Let's go.
you can custom make your
Air
Hot Wheel
ride.
and send it in to race. So we're gonna have to design the best, fastest Hot Wheel. We'll send it in and it'll
It'll
compete.
have adjustable air ride. It'll have headlights. It'll have
Yeah,
working tail light. It'll
Adjustable
have everything.
arrow.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Tanner. You know what I'm
It'll
talking
have a
about.
wing that
We're gonna
can
go full.
shift.
We're gonna put it with those little like actual like uh aero chambers and test the aerodynamics of it to make sure the wing actually works. We're gonna
You
put
know,
like rubber skin tires on it, maximum grip. Let's go.
you know
Or
what
maybe
I've
it's the
never
opposite.
seen.
Maybe we want less friction, so maybe we want like slippier tires.
You know what I've never seen is anybody with underglow on their Hot Wheel car.
Oh,
You'd
let's
be a
go.
first.
We're doing that.
Yeah,
90s
You'd be a
kids, come
first.
on, let's
dude,
go.
cut a
Come
hole in the
on.
bottom, watch battery, right? Hook up it to a switch, power ground, boom,
Bro,
good
Dude,
to go.
that could be
RGB with a
extra
remote, you
downforce.
can just change it.
The battery could be not only for the underglow, but extra downforce. Bro, okay, hear me out, Pat. Active arrow.
I'm listening.
Active
I'm
arrow.
here.
Active arrow.
Yep, you already got the battery in there.
A little
Yeah.
accelerometer, a little Raspberry Pi computer. Here we go. Next. Actually, we could run that all on an SD card probably now. So here we go. An SD card.
Yeah. Dude, I'll you know what? We're gonna real quick, we're gonna do a little side adventure together, boys.
Are we doing a side quest?
Yeah, we are. We are definitely doing a side quest. Let me figure out what I'm doing here.
We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna
So, okay.
rig it.
I'm just gonna show you guys because I feel like it's like you guys aren't. It's hard to picture, but this is it. It's like
Oh,
Dude, it's amazing. Like they do full replays. You get to see like all of the Subarus come around the track and they're just ripping.
bro, this is a full on.
It's got all the sound effects and everything. Like, dude, it's amazing.
That's a full on program he's got going there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, I mean what I'm saying. We got to send in a Hot Wheel. We'll brand it, right? We'll put the Smeedia logo right on the hood. We'll just
Subaru
send that.
Mechanics Group, the
Yeah.
Wave. Let's go.
Dude,
Let's
we get
go.
they do put 2 cars together, so we'll have to like make a Subaru team and send it down.
I just have to ask, how much for the hood sponsorship plaque, for Simply Subarus?
Yeah,
Is that going to be like $1,000, or
Yo, I've
like
got a Hot Wheels I can send him right
$1.50?
now.
yeah.
And one of my subscribers made a Hot Wheel of my 17 STI. It's got the flares. It's the same color. It looks identical to my car. It'd be fun to
Ooh,
just
let's do
send
it.
that over there.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. We got to get some micro decals though. Patrick's right. We got to put the Smeedia logo on there. We got to put the Wave podcast. Let's go. And again, we'll talk, but I want that hood placement.
Dude,
I want that hood placement.
this is our crossover. We're gonna put the Crisco logo on it. This is
Crisco livery. Dude, we got to do a Crisco livery like Castro.
That would be golden.
My God. AI. Hey, Patrick.
the Crisco
I know
Hot
you're the
Wheel.
AI master. Get AI to make us a Castro livery, but with canola oil.
That'd be phenomenal.
And we're
AJ,
putting
we're
that on
gonna
the
need an edit
sides.
of this at the end of this video. This is amazing.
Yes, that's going to be amazing.
My God. Yeah. That's the dude, this is what I love about YouTube, man. Is like the possibilities are endless. I love it.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, almost. Yeah, sorry.
You can
Don't do
almost
whatever you
anything
like.
you want.
Don't do whatever you
Yeah.
like.
Could be legal ramifications to that.
Thanks for watching and listening to part 1 of our interview with Tanner from Smeedia. Make sure to subscribe or follow our show to catch part 2 next week and to follow along with our Baja running on canola oil. See you then.